Hey guys, Luke here. Hopefully this is coming through all right. Live at the Breckenridge Bar here in Denver International Airport. Got my beer. I'm a paying customer now, so basically going to see how well this goes. I doubt it's going to be too great. I'm on the airport Wi-Fi, but hopefully this is all cool. Um, anyhow, we got one person watching, so we'll see how this all ends up. But uh, just here at Denver, just got done flying in from Salt Lake City, and so far so good. Been a really good trip. Anybody that follows me on Facebook has probably seen some of the photos already. Um, hopefully somebody gets in here can tell me a little bit about how the audio is sounding. Remember, I don't have my usual equipment. I'm using kind of some Bluetooth headphones here to kind of go through with the audio. But so far, I mean, again, it's difficult to tell from my end, but we'll see how far we go. This might be a short stream, like real short, as in a few minutes, or it could be a full length stream. So yeah. All right, let's see here. We got yeah. Josh said it's muffled. Sorry about that. I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I can alter the mic. Maybe I can just get off of the Let me see if I can do something about the audio. I may not be able to. Let's see. Um, Automatically adjust mic volume. Again, this might not work. Let me turn off these headphones. All right. I think that's about all I can do. Can you guys hear anything at all? I think it's probably coming in garbled. Um, it's better. Okay. All right. Well, this might be as good as it gets. I apologize. I didn't bring my wireless. Yeah, muffled, still muffled, but better. Okay. Yeah, this is probably just because it's a cheap Bluetooth headset. But again, hopefully you guys can forgive me for a little bit. Again, coming in from the hotel, not the hotel, the airport Wi-Fi. So it is what it is. Just wanted to at least stop by and say hi to everybody. Wearing my Dobbs 25 Golden Coat fedora from the 1960s. Um, yeah, it's been a good 4 days. I've been out here since Friday, and at least that is out west in the U.S. So I'm now in Denver. Just coming back from Salt Lake, just touched down. Got myself a beer at the bar, and just having fun, man. That's what it's all about. You know, when I head over to London, maybe I'll bring those wireless microphone system. It's not that big. I should have brought them. I don't know what I was thinking. I just forgot. But yeah, it's good to at least be able to at least have something up to see. Even if it's garbled. But hopefully, all you guys are doing great. There's three of you guys on, so that's good. We got some music playing in the background here at the bar, so that's probably what's also causing some of the interference. I'm sure if I altered a little bit, like reduce the microphone, the background noise, I think that's what it's going to help. Let's see here. Does that sound any better? Hopefully, that does a little bit better. Yeah, yeah. I can just hear a muffled sound today. Yeah, sorry about that, Paul. Um, yeah, sorry about that. This is not my usual setup, so I'm kind of at the mercy of the technology that I brought with me. I don't know why, but the laptop sound um, wasn't wasn't being recognized. It could just be because I'm running Linux, and maybe it doesn't have the drivers for the webcam. Either way, like I said, I won't. Oh, you know what? Maybe if I did this, let's see. Wonder if um, yeah, I don't know. Nope, can't hear you. Okay, so now this is back. So again, it's that my webcam mic is not being recognized. So we're gonna have to just deal with the garbledness. What I'll do is I'll just cut the stream short really quick. That way, I just wanted to at least check in with you guys, and just say hi. Um, but we'll be back to regular programming later this week. Yeah, at least before my trip to London, and then we'll deal with whatever the fallout there. But yeah, hopefully you guys are doing all right. I know sorry for the audio. I know it's probably bad, but yeah, just had a great time. waiting for my flight here. My flight will take off in a couple hours, and then I'll head back to the DC area, and then just resume life as normal, right? So, but yeah, just wanted to check in. Hopefully, all is well. Um, Paul says, doing okay and looking forward to your visit. Yes, same here, Paul. Yes, I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm looking forward to meeting you and Ian over in London, and just to see what's out there. Like I said, I know I'll probably not be able to see everything I would want to see, but well, that's what multiple trips will do, right? I just get a little bit of a flavor, and then maybe the next trip I'll round it out. So, like I said, really happy to be doing some traveling this year, and next year to be hopefully some more. You know, we talked about that trip to Portugal. Looking forward to that if we're able to make that happen to go see FEPSA and their whole setup. You know, but yeah, like I said, I'll probably go. What do we got? We got about 11 and a half minutes. Maybe I'll go to the 15-minute mark, or 20-minute mark, depending on how this turns out. I just don't see this audio getting any better, and I don't want to waste your guys' time. We got three folks on here. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. This really wasn't. I kind of knew this was not going to be like the best setup, so but we'll make do, right? But yeah, I really did have a good time in Salt Lake. I got to, if you guys are on my Facebook, you saw that I took the Samurai Noodle Mount Fuji Ramen Challenge. That's probably a dumb decision, to be honest. I've never done one of these food challenges before. So I don't know. I don't know what got into me. And I did it. I completed it. I did it in 21 minutes. I don't know if I should be proud of that or not. But it is what it is. I did it. So if you guys are on my Facebook or on my Instagram, you guys could see photos of that, of my triumph, I guess. Well, maybe it's right. I had Rocky music. I had Triumph music on it. I don't know if that really was a triumph. I think I need to cut down on the food. So, but once I get back after this beer, I will cut down and hopefully get some weight loss going before the 2026, because I really do want to get down in my weight for 2026. Let's see. Paul says you will get a lot in, so you'll have to strap in and enjoy the ride. Yes, absolutely, my friend. Looking forward to it. Like I said, I just want to have a pint with you and Ian, and maybe those 50 kids. So, and we got Paul. All right, let's see if we can get Paul on here. Let's see. Let me add Paul to the stage. Oh, wait a minute. One second. Yeah, there we go. Paul.
Hello. I'm doing all right. I just thought I'd nip on to see if it helped the sound at all, but I don't think so. I don't know whether Josh can hear me better and you were.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you fine. You're coming in through the Bluetooth headset. Like I said, I don't know. I should have probably tested this out before I left. You know how it is when you travel sometimes. At least for me, I'm kind of like things get left to the last minute, and it is what it is. So I try to have it.
It's always good to catch up, even if it's only for 5 minutes. And like we said, really looking forward to you coming over. We've got a little bit of an itinerary there. Look, there's so much going on in London this time of year. There's the ice rink at Somerset House. There's lots of winter wonderlands going on. There's an awful lot going on around Soho where you'll be staying. And Leicester Square. I mean, even if you just came to Leicester Square and sat there and just took in the sights, you'd be amazed. But it's very very. I'm sure I've never been to New York. Okay, I've been to Miami and I've been to Fort Lauderdale, and in fact I had offices in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and then been to nearby yourselves where they do all the boats, the American news something or other, isn't it?
The harbor.
Newport News.
Oh, Newport News. Okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and stuff like that, Navy. Yeah, I had an uncle by marriage that was actually a commander in the Navy. He was the first person to bring up a submarine through the North Pole. So
Wow.
he took me on his nuclear submarine once, which I'm not sure whether he was supposed to or not.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Paul, I mean, before we cut this off, I want to make sure that you have a chance to talk about the hat that you're wearing, because I'm pretty sure I haven't seen you wear that one yet.
No, and I'm not too sure about it. It's one that I made as a Homburg. And
Yeah.
I'm sort of not sure that I actually suit a Homburg, to be honest. It's a where are we? Yeah, it's a hat that I thought I would develop the shape for a customer of mine who I'm meeting up with next week sometime, I think, or the week after. I can't remember which. To go through some selections of some felts and some designs and things. But I think it's a nice exercise to make this hat, but don't think it's me. I think
I think open load is definitely your top shape, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, the Hamburg, you know how I feel about the Hamburg. It never looks bad.
Oh, it's a great hat. I mean, I've got several in my collection, which no doubt you'll see a few next week. But we'll decide whether I'm bringing them up to you or whether you're going to come down to Winchester and come home for coffee or something or whatever. But when you get into the UK and you've got over the jet lag, give me a call on the mobile. You've got my mobile number, I think, and my website and everything. You can get the mobile number. Just give me a call and we'll make some plans and we'll see what to do. But actually, if you feel like coming out of London and coming down and either coming to Winchester or I can meet you at Winchester and bring you home. We can have a coffee and I can show you hats and things. That would be lovely. But let's see what we can fit in on the time that you're over here. But
absolutely. I think between public transport and then obviously Lyft, Uber, or whatever the ride sharing service, the local ride sharing service is, I'm sure I can make it just about anywhere. So
I mean it's I mean, not that you necessarily want to do it, but you could walk from Soho to Waterloo Station, and then Waterloo Station to where to Winchester is like 55 minutes, I think. So it's not too. You can do it there and back in a day really easily. I used to commute it every day, so it's no real big deal. But I think there's so much you can get in. But we want to go around the hat shops. I want to sit down and talk to you about FEPSA and see if we can try and make that happen to them come on board. Because if FEPSA come in and we make a recordable session with them, then I'm pretty convinced that you'll be able to use that to show some of the other manufacturers that, hey, look, if FEPSA can do it, you got to do it. You got to come on. And I think I hope that takes you to another level, because then you've got hatters on the show, you've got customers on the show, and you've also got manufacturers on the show, and suppliers. So that would be great. I mean, because at the end of the day, I think like we've said before, all we're trying to do is to bring up the profile of wearing hats, making hats, keeping the tradition of the shapes, the materials, the way that it's actually produced. Because if we're not careful, it's going to be one of those other things that we're going to lose. So, I think what you're doing is fabulous. I think that making the time is such a big plus that you've been able to do. And it's exemplary, really, because what it's like. We all try something, but it's very difficult to keep it going. And having a YouTube show. I mean, look, I know it myself. I've got a YouTube channel, and, I know that it's really difficult to get up and do that content alongside the remainder of your working week. So, all to you for doing it.
I appreciate it, my friend. Like I said,
you go around London.
That's right. That's right. The thing is, Paul, thank you. I appreciate that. It's really a lot easier when I have you guys, because you guys have been really great. You guys just make it a lot more fun. So, and that was really, I kind of anticipated that doing it by myself was going to be a little bit more of a challenge, only because just to maintain the motivation. And then sometimes you don't get the feedback, right? So sometimes you don't, and not that I haven't gotten great feedback, despite that, but it's nice to kind of get that community going, because it really does when I'm not at my fully energized level, and it does happen. Like I said, I think some folks, they see the smiling face and they're like, oh, that guy's never down. He's always energized. and I'm actually an introvert, you know, and that's the thing that a lot of folks don't realize. And I even feel weird saying it because, you know, I have social skill, but the social will, like I have to recharge to be able to get to do this kind of show. So I kind of, that's why I try to do the twice a week format. You guys all know as well, I do have a second YouTube channel that's way, like, it's, I got, well, technically right now, I have Good Luke Sports. This is now Good Luke's Hat. And that's going to get slowly built, but I want to make sure that I don't bite off more than I can chew because, you know, I still want to live. I want to have my hat journey and I want to share stories, you know, kind of like with these trips,
Yeah.
you know, come back with a good story and just more energy because I felt like on the Lyft ride to the airport, I just had a great time talking to the driver about my stay in Salt Lake. And I feel like that's what it's all about. And he got, like, I could feel the energy from him and that really got me motivated to want to come here and jump on the screen. So, you know, unfortunately, the audio is not the best, but you guys are already like, Paul, thank you for jumping on here. That's you already kind of made the stream for me already.
Hey, look, I couldn't let you just stay on your own and be worried about the you know, the volume and the clarity. So,
Yeah,
you know, I know it's
yeah,
going to be a short show today, and but I just
yeah,
wanted to reach out and say, look, you know, we're still here. We're still keen to be involved. Of course, we are. Can't wait
yeah.
until next week. I mean, look, if we can get some photographs of around London when you're over here, and then you can use those as still shots and videos for one of your shows, and we can go to
Absolutely.
and take the photographs of the shops and so on. I mean, how fantastic will that be? I mean,
Yeah.
good.
Hi,
Hi, Ian.
Ian. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then let's see what Josh said here. We'll have to make a list for you for a travel streaming setup. Yes, Josh, my IT hack person. Like I said, I'm slowly getting an inventory of things. So if you do have a list, because I know you mentioned about the security, you know, I'd be foolish not to listen to somebody with your background, you know, in technology. So, like I said, with the down, you know, you guys already right now are seeing the downside of not being prepared technology wise. But like I said, lesson learned, right? Like hopefully this will motivate me for the London trip to at least bring my wireless mic set up. And now that I know that the camera's working, the wireless mic setup will at least enhance the audio. And I feel like, you know, it may not be as good as my little tiny camera at home, but oh wow, we got another visitor. Brad, how's it going, my friend?
Hey.
In a topper, no less.
Hey, everybody. Yeah. I just happen to have the topper handy here. So
Yeah, yeah.
Looking
Well,
good,
go
Brad.
share with the audience what kind of topper.
it's a Kavanaugh from the 40s.
Oh, nice. I love the Kavanaughs, man. I tell you. Let's see what we got here. We got Josh saying that top hat. That's right.
Yeah. Do you know what,
Indeed.
Brad?
Goes well with the T-shirt, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't had one yet of a top hat. You know, of all the hats I've had, it's the one that has eluded me. But when we go to Lock and Co next week, we can have a look at the home of the top hat, and we
Yep.
can see all the
Yeah.
different hats there. So that should be exciting. I always find it exciting anyway.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing about that trip.
Yeah. And Josh is working on a top hat, his 31st medium top hat. That's awesome. I love that.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah. Ian says you three are looking cool. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, my friend. You know, Brad, man, you also, like in the short amount of time that you've been here between you, Paul, and Josh and all the other folks that have been like on the channel, like, thank you. You know, you guys, I don't know, words cannot describe, you know, what you guys make me feel in terms of, you know, sharing your time like that, you know? And I just learned so much. I've learned so much in the short amount of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you think, you do something for a certain amount of time, you're like, oh, all right. And then before you know it, you just learn so much more. And like, and I'm open to it, you know, that's what I love. Like, that was the other, what's in it for me with this channel is that I knew that in going and talking to other hat people, I'm going to learn not just about hats, but careers and just in general. I love learning it all sorts. So,
Well, thank you for giving us this this platform to get together and visit. You know,
yeah.
I was a little hesitant at first because I didn't know how well I would do in this kind of a situation, but I've really enjoyed our visits together. With
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I knew, like I said, I've seen you on camera, like I said, before you even came on the show, and I'm like, you just jump out with the personality, and like I said, I think what it is that, like, just looking at you in your hat, Brad, and Paul, you have the same effect, Ian as well, like I said, in the brief couple times that Ian's been on, like, when people see your face, I know, I'm just saying that I'll speak for myself, I won't speak for everybody else, but I think I can speak for everybody else, because I've gotten feedback from folks that have watched, and they said, "Yeah, I like watch. I think there's something about watching somebody in a hat and a smile goes a long way,
That's
And
right.
we
I
all
mean,
got to maybe respect the part of it.
I just love dropping in every now and again, and for me, I've learned so much from being on here as well. So on the one hand, I've tried to contribute, but I'm very early in my hat making journey, so I can only contribute a limited amount. But listening to people like Brad and oh, what's his name, Galt,
Robert,
yeah, Robert.
yeah,
Sorry, yes, Robert,
Robert,
and the
yeah,
others, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, been really, really good.
yeah,
So I think you should give yourself a pat on the back for the efforts for this year, and
Yeah.
I think for 2026, and we'll go onwards and upwards. I mean, it takes time. You don't build these platforms and the people that are following you.
yeah,
Over a short period. But what I've seen, I mean, I've got 450 something followers now. Okay, but I looked the other
yeah,
day, on the sort of, I suppose 18 months, 2 years that I've been going, probably 18 months. I've only lost 6 people off of that following. Now, I don't know. It sounds quite low. What that says to me is that I keep getting messages through saying that people find the information interesting, useful. They get lost in there in terms of what they can learn and fun. And you think, well,
right,
I'm up for that. It's
yeah,
gone further for me than I thought it would have, and I hope that
yeah,
in us contributing for you, Luke, that it does the same thing.
yeah,
It'll take time.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. And like I said, I never had expectations that this was going to be, obviously we have Kevin's channel, which Kevin's got like 40,000 plus subscribers. Like to me, that boggles my mind that somebody, for a hat channel, I mean, obviously he does hats and guitars, and I think there might be even channels that are bigger. They might not be just hat focused. But for me, I'm like, if I can get monetized, and obviously we're not talking about a lot of money here, but the idea that I can bring any money into this and then reinvest it into the channel, if it's in better equipment or just a giveaway, I'm happy. I'll be pleased as punch. And I'm like, you got to celebrate the little milestones, And we're approaching 100. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
Brad, I think Brad's over the 1,000 mark on his
Yeah.
channel, right, Brad?
I've
Yeah.
got,
Yeah.
well, last time I looked, it was 2178.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
2170. Man. Well, yeah. My hat's off to you. Well, not physically, but I will do the hat tip for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's important. Yeah, it's very important to celebrate these milestones because again, we know like it's a small community, but I think that's more reason for us, for any channel, any size, to keep doing it because, well, like I said, nobody lasts forever, right? Just like November Rain, Guns N' Roses. Uh, as some of us cycle, out of this hobby and out of this world, maybe. Hopefully not. But like I said, all and also, Brad, I'm going to hold you to that. You guys you can never leave. You got to you got to live forever because the hat community needs you guys. I'm going to hold you to that. But if you let me down on that front, then I will forgive you. I really hope because you got folks like Morgan and future Morgans out there that and Morgan's already doing the influencing, man. I had a great conversation with Morgan. I think I might have mentioned this on a previous stream where she got a lot of Steve Goldstein's hat shop in Brooklyn, Bencraft. They got a lot of calls about Morgan's Huff Buds. Just from that one show we did over at Bencraft. So, I gotta, hopefully Steve has if he saw that demand, hopefully that he can work something out with Michael in terms of getting some inventory. Because, well, why not, right? Who would want to have that kind of choice?
I mean, great. Yeah. I mean,
maybe that's something for yourself as well. For connecting with some of the hat shops here in the States in terms of getting rid of some of that inventory that you have on hand. Maybe there's a way. If you're a hat shop, Steve and whoever else that is a hat shop, definitely reach out to our hatters here, because some of them have inventory. I think Robert mentioned that he doesn't keep a whole lot of inventory, but Paul, I know you mentioned that you did have, and maybe there's some kind of, hopefully I'm not speaking out of term here, Paul. But reach out to Paul and see what you guys could do.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's I'm open to anything. It's something that the people that I've sold hats to and the people that I've made hats for have in the main. In fact, I can't remember anybody not being other than positive about it. So that's something that as a hatter, that's something that you always worry about is the hat going to fit, and is it to the standard that the client wants, and has the experience of buying a hat either reached or exceeded their expectations. And if you can deliver on those fronts, then you can build a business, because at the back of it, the manufacturing costs of a hat are reasonable. The suppliers are out there and they're very supportive, and so it's really down to your determination as an individual. And unfortunately, like any business, you do have to invest. And Robert was saying about how it took him, I think he said 4 or maybe 5 years before he could return on his investment. But when you look at his videos and you look at the equipment he's got, well, I mean, I'm just flabbergasted that, well, I mean, there's probably not a hat that he can make, because he's got all the locks and the flanges and everything else. I mean, unfortunately, people like myself might limit ourselves to 2 or 3 sets of hats and, half a dozen to, I think I've got about 10 brim flanges and things like that. But, I limit what I do to fedoras and trills. So I sort of get by. But when I look at what infantry he's got in equipment, is yeah. But in the UK, we don't have very many places to buy second-hand equipment. We really are struggling, because it's either already been sold because the factories have closed in Luton, Manchester, and all around the main areas where for many years we sold millions, I mean literally millions of hats, and now it's gone down to there are a few key suppliers that make hat blocks and things, and now they send it all over the world. So as FEPSA does the same for felts, they do the same for whether it's ribbon or gross grain Petersham ribbon, or whether it's the hat blocks as with Boone and Lane, all these different things. So it's very much more a tight knit community, and not many players in it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Luckily, like I said, it's one of those things where we always thought, and I'm going to use one of my favorite Paul terms, moneyed individuals. It's nice that we do have some folks that, well, like Robert, that, and Robert, I'm not going to speak on his financial situation, but he mentioned, like a lot of the hatters here, he doesn't rely on his hat income to be able to sustain himself. And you kind of know that he collects that equipment because he really does love having it around him, right? Like we surround ourselves with nice things.
Yeah, if he's anything like myself, it's nice to have some break from the family from now and again, if you know what I mean, and just shut yourself away and make a hat or two. But,
everybody does, right?
Yeah. But I think there's a James on here, which we. Hello, James.
Let's see here, James.
James Bond.
James, my friend James Bond.
Yeah.
James, welcome back. Again, James is one of those individuals that he's the guy that dresses up, like I said, beyond just the fine hats. He has a fine collection, and he has the entire ensemble. Man, I can't wait if I could ever get James on here, so you guys can see some of his look, because he's one of those guys that I talked about that just do it all up, the whole 9 yards. Let's see here. Josh says exactly. And then hi James. Hey, James, see, you're already part of Cheers, So like I said, even if you don't want to come on camera, that's okay. But James is on James goes by Jim Bond on Facebook. Reach out to him. You can see right away some of his posts. He does it up. Man, I love that. But James, thanks for making this fun. Because James is having fun when he does this. And that's what it's all about. One thing for the viewers is, just in case you're curious about what that thumbnail that I have, that is Lucifer. You might have heard me and Brad talk about Lucifer, but Lucifer is a very well-known statue. I believe it's right outside the airport, and I believe they erected that statue in 2008. And it's a wild-looking statue. It's like one of the first things you see as you're leaving the airport. That's what I saw when I left Denver Airport for the first time on my last trip to Denver. And it's just really a wild-looking statue. And it has an unfortunate kind of backstory. It did end up killing its creator. I believe he passed away in 2006. I believe his name was Luis Jimenez. Hopefully I got that right. But yeah, he died in '06 when one of the pieces fell on top of him in his studio back in New Mexico. And fortunately, they were able to use his staff, his remaining staff, and other artists to finish the statue, and they erected it in '08. So it's been here not that long outside the airport, but it's very much a part of the local lore. Brad, anything else? Did I get any of that right?
I believe so. I'm not clear on the details, like the years.
Yeah.
I do remember when it did kill the sculptor, which is tragic.
Yeah.
But Lucifer does have a reputation, especially if you see it at night with the eyes lit up. It's a little eerie, but of course the whole Denver airport has all of these conspiracy theories around it anyway.
Yeah.
It's
like prisons.
Peak.
Yeah. And I think the formal name is not Lucifer. I think it's Blue Mustang is the formal name of the statue, but Lucifer is because of the eyes. I think it's a bunch of LED lights that they stuck in the eyeballs to create that effect. It's really eerie, especially at night.
Yeah.
And I shared that shot at night. What was that, Brad?
Everybody just calls it Lucifer. You're right.
Yeah. I like the name. I mean, it just, there's just something a little edgy and a little like rock and roll about Lucifer, right?
Right.
So, I love it. Like I said, it's one of those things where I'm like, you guys all know, like I love when I see something and it catches my eye, just like a vintage hat. I'll go and do the little back history and do the research. And wow, what an amazing story. So if you're ever in Denver, definitely. I don't think you can miss Lucifer if you're leaving. Maybe in a cab or a Lyft or Uber. It's hard to miss. I think it's like 32 feet high.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And the artist practiced. So he practiced. I think he commissioned like 4 other smaller versions of the horse statues. And I think one of them is I believe one of them is in Texas, but they're like 8 foot high. So he practiced there, and then he scaled it up. And unfortunately, maybe he went too high, and then ended up, killing him. But I believe his daughter is an artist as well. So interesting. Sad story, but very interesting.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, well, gentlemen. Unless there's anything else, I will call it a stream. I think we're just under 40 minutes. Man, thank you so much for making this just a success. Despite my technology.
Well, it's really nice to see you again, Luke, and I wish you safe travels and look forward to seeing you next week.
And I hope you pass through Denver. You're going to spend a couple of days. I can get together with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, now that I know, I think you mentioned you're about maybe like 100 miles or so north of Denver proper.
South.
South. Okay. Yeah, I'll just plan it into. I'll bake it into that. We'll be, obviously you're part of the board of directors now, so we'll be in touch as I get my next trip. Like I said, I just envision myself spending more time in the Midwest domestically because the Midwest and obviously the West, and I think Robert hit the nail right on the head. It's just beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
The mountains and the scenery. I'm like, I went for a walk yesterday, or day before yesterday, in the morning, and wow, I was just enchanted by the mountains. So, there's a lot more travel, and hopefully, if you guys, I know we have some folks from Wales and wherever you're coming from with this stream. Hopefully, I'll get into your town, and then we could do a little meet and greet, and have a little fun. But yeah, so Paul, thank you so much. Brad, thank you so much. I'm gonna, tell you, support Brad, support Paul on their respective YouTube channels. Reach out to them on social media, and support our channel as well. Like I said, I don't have my giveaway hat, but you guys know when I get to 100 subscribers, I will give away a hat to one lucky recipient. But even if you don't support, right? You know where this is going. Even if you don't support the channel, you don't support Paul or Brad or myself. One thing you got to do, or else we'll get Lucifer after you, right? Or else Lucifer will come and haunt you. And maybe not to stampede you and put you to your demise, but just to maybe put that hook on the subscribe button for you, and just But the one thing you got to do is stay adding, my friend. Have a great day. Ciao, everybody.
Ciao. Bye, Ian. Bye, guys.
See you, Paul.
Cheers.
Safe travels, Luke.
Thank you.